Hello everyone, happy Monday and welcome back to the Adams Eats kitchen. Hope you fine folks are doing well and you had a cracking little weekend. Now I've just noticed that this beard is getting a little bit out of hand. Look at that, it's starting to look like Santa. Now it's half been sort of like, I can't be bothered to trim it, but also, I don't know, just gonna kind of grow it out a bit, see what happens, see if it looks all right. What do you think? Shall I grow it out or trim it? Right, so on to today's video, I'm gonna do another kitchen basics recipe, and that's how to make homemade mayonnaise. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Adam, I could just go down to shops and buy it. Why are you teaching us how to make mayonnaise? Which is true, you can get really good shop bought mayonnaise, but I'm gonna show you how to make it from scratch for two reasons. The first reason being is if you make it yourself, you can control what's in it. How it tastes, you can change the seasoning, and homemade mayonnaise works as a brilliant ancillary to all sorts of other flavours. You can put garlic in there, chilli, you know, herbs, all sorts of different things. And it's pretty impressive as well if you can make your own mayo. It takes no time at all, it's actually relatively simple. And the second reason is if you learn how to make your own mayonnaise, you're not just learning how to make that, but you're opening up doors to make other things. For instance, if you learn how to make mayonnaise, you can also make bearnaise and you can also make hollandaise sauce as well. They're basically the same, you're just swapping out the oil for butter instead. So it's all about expanding your culinary knowledge, learning a new skill, but the key to a really good mayonnaise is not adding the oil too quickly. If you do that, that's what's going to make it split, and that's what most people are afraid of. So I'm going to stop waffling on, let's crack on and make this. If you look down below in the description, you can get a list of what you need, and also if you press that pause button now, you can get a list of them there as well. And the first thing we need to do is go and crack some eggs. Right, okay dokes, so I've got my eggs, I've got a nice big mixing bowl here, and underneath that I've got a damp cloth which will kind of stop it moving around when you're whisking. And all we need to do first is separate our egg yolks from our egg whites. Right, so I've got my egg yolks in the bowl here, and I'm just going to add some mustard. Use your favourite, I'm going to use English, probably about a teaspoon is enough. And then taking our whisk, we're just going to beat those egg yolks just until they start to go nice and creamy. Now you can make this in a food processor, which is absolutely fine, but I just find using a whisk in a nice large bowl, you've got lots more control and you can see what's happening. Now as I'm whisking, you can see how thick that yolk is starting to go, and that's the point we can now start adding the oil. Now this bit is really crucial, you don't want to put the oil in too quickly, otherwise it's just going to split. Now I'm using a neutral oil, which is sunflower, but you could use groundnut oil if you want. Don't use just olive oil because it's just going to taste too powerful and bitter. So what you want to do is just keep whisking your egg yolks and then very gradually add the oil, and I mean gradually, so just a few drops at a time. Just like that, you know, just keep dripping it in very, very slowly. You know, don't worry, you won't be here forever because once you've kind of got it to a certain consistency, you can add more at a time, but this is a very crucial stage, so just keep whisking, a few drops at a time, and what will start to happen is the egg yolks will start to emulsify with the oil and go really thick. Okay, so right, so I've added about, I would say 100 ml of my oil, and you can see how really thick that's becoming, okay? At this point, you can start adding it just a little bit faster. All right, we've gone past the danger stage, I suppose, but obviously don't just dump it all in because that will split it. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going, and don't worry, I know it's thick, but we will thin this out with the lemon juice. It's got to a stage where it's quite thick, so I'm going to add some lemon juice to that, and it's just going to thin it out and also give it some flavour as well. So just squeeze the lemon juice in, remove the pips, obviously you don't want that. And really it's kind of to taste, so you know, just whisk it in and then just taste as you go, and you'll see it immediately changes colour. Now I think this is a bit too thick, so what you can do is just add a splash of cold water and then just carry on mixing that through. I think just a bit more oil. Right, okay, here we are. This is our finished mayonnaise. You can see how lovely and thick that is. Again, use the cold water trick just to kind of thin it out to your desired consistency. And I'm just going to season it with a little bit of salt. Right, okay, so I'm just going to serve some of this up just to kind of show you what it looks like. I mean, you get absolutely loads really out of those two egg yolks and that bit of oil. You know, you get so much. So I'm just going to plop some in this dish here. But that's it, that's your base mayonnaise done. And that'll keep in the fridge quite happily for a week. You know, use it when you want, you know, and it's as simple as that. I mean, that took me about 5 minutes to make, and it tastes way better than the shop bought stuff. Well, there we are folks, showed you how to make mayonnaise. Again, really, really simple to do. It's all about confidence and overcoming those fears. Anyway, that's enough of me preaching on. That about wraps up today's video, guys. And if you like what you see, then stick a like down below, leave a comment, and if you'd like to show me some love and support, then please hit that subscribe button. And of course, stick around at the end because there'll be some links to some other videos. And again, if you're not a subscriber, there'll be a button for that as well. And I'll see you beautiful people next time for more tasty fun and frolics, and bye for now.